It's a raccoon with a talk show slinging culture facts you might not know. From the biggest flops to the greatest hits, this is Trash Can Tidbits.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the latest episode of Trash Can Tidbits. Last week, I asked the question, in the closing credits of the first Halloween film, instead of being credited as Michael Myers, which abstract nickname was he referred to? The answer is, The Shape. It was writer and director John Carpenter's intentions to portray the killer as someone who is completely emotionless. Carpenter has gone on record as saying that when Michael puts on the mask, he actually becomes the Shape, a sort of unearthly entity that takes on a whole life of its own. Even though Michael's name is said a few times in the movie and no longer uses the name The Shape, the essence of that name continues and was further put to use in the recent 2018 Halloween film. Now, this week of Trash Can Tidbits, we're going to have some fun. Requested by the Poetry Ninja on Twitter, I'm finally going to be doing a theme list dedicated to the greatest fictional secret agent in the world, Bond, James Bond, codenamed 007, the legendary British Secret Service agent with a license to kill. Get ready to be shaken and not stirred by these facts. Here we go. Fact 1. Did you know that Dame Shirley Bassey has sung the most Bond theme songs? She has sung 3. Goldfinger, Diamonds Are Forever, and Moonraker. As a matter of fact, she got to even spoof a Bond-style theme song when she sang a cover version of Pink's Get the Party Started for the movie Cats and Dogs, The Revenge of Kitty Galore, which coincidentally also featured the voice of the late Sir Roger Moore. Fact 2. Did you know that Pierce Brosnan was going to play Bond long before he made GoldenEye? After Roger Moore retired from the franchise, Brosnan was actually one of the first choices to play the part and was given the script to The Living Daylights. However, at the time, he was on a hit TV show called Remington Steele, and even though the show was canceled, and after extensive negotiations with the Bond team, NBC ultimately changed their minds and decided not to let Brosnan go, and they went on to make another season with him. The part of Bond then went to Timothy Dalton, who gave the character a much-needed edge during the 1980s. Fact 3. Did you know that the bedroom scene between Bond and Bond girl Tatiana Romanova in From Russia with Love has been traditionally used as a screen test for potential Bond actors throughout the years? According to some DVD features, some of the actors who have been tested for the part include the likes of James Brolin, Sam Neill, and of course, Pierce Brosnan. Each actor who screen tests would do that bedroom scene, as well as a fight scene. Fact 4. Did you know that Pierce Brosnan's wife played a Bond girl? In 1981, For Your Eyes Only was released, and it co-starred Cassandra Harris in a minor role as Countess Liesel, who has a brief fling with the spy before she gets killed in the movie. Harris was, at the time, married to Pierce Brosnan, who visited the set and was introduced to Bond producer Albert R. Broccoli, who was quite taken with the young Irishman. Sadly, Harris did not live to see her husband inherit the role, as she passed away from cancer in 1991. Fact 5. Did you know that in many of the early Bond films there were quite a few actors who had their voices dubbed over, most of the time due to their thick accents and or their inability to speak English? This includes the first leading Bond actress, Ursula Andress, as Honey Rider in Dr. No. Because of her thick Swiss accent, she was dubbed over by voice actress Nikki van der Zyl, who incidentally dubbed over most of the early Bond actresses in the other films of the Sean Connery era. Interestingly enough, van der Zyl would go on to dub over Andress in 2 more films, she and the Bond spoof Casino Royale. Fact 6. Did you know that Sean Connery officially has the record for the most performances as James Bond? It's commonly accepted that both he and Roger Moore tied at playing Bond a total of 7 times due to Connery starring in the rival Bond movie made by Warner Brothers, Never Say Never Again. But if you count video game appearances, then Connery indeed has Roger Moore beat, because the From Russia with Love video game that came out in 2005 marked the final time he played 007. Fact 7. Did you know that there was a 19-year gap where the movie's title used the name of one of Ian Fleming's books? The Living Daylights was released in 1987, and Casino Royale was used in 2006. Quantum of Solace was also the name of a short story written by Fleming. As of 2020, there are still 4 Bond titles that have not been used in a film. The short stories, which appeared in Fleming's book Octopussy and the Living Daylights, are Risiko, The Hildebrand Rarity, The Property of a Lady, and 007 in New York. It's very unlikely that last one will ever be used, however. Fact 8. Did you know that there were 3 actors that appeared in different movies playing different characters, both times as a villain and an ally to 007? To begin with, in no particular order, Charles Gray played ally Mr. Henderson in You Only Live Twice, and would later play main Bond villain Blofeld in Diamonds Are Forever. The second was Walter Gotell, who played a minor villain role in From Russia with Love, and would later play General Gogol, a reluctant Soviet ally to Bond in some of the Roger Moore-era films like The Spy Who Loved Me and A View to a Kill. And finally, Joe Don Baker, who appeared as villain Whitaker in The Living Daylights, but go on to play CIA agent Jack Wade in GoldenEye and Tomorrow Never Dies. Fact 9. Did you know that the movie License to Kill, which came out in the summer of 1989, would be the last Bond film to do so? 1989 also saw a slew of summer blockbusters such as Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Ghostbusters 2, Batman, and Back to the Future Part 3, among others. License to Kill sadly did not reach the box office grosses those other films made. Beginning with GoldenEye, each new Bond film would be released in either the fall or winter. The latest Bond film, No Time to Die, was set to be the first Bond movie in 31 years to break that trend, as it was going to be released this past April. As of the upload of this video, it's been delayed to November of 2020, reluctantly continuing the tradition. Fact 10. Did you know that the character of Sylvia Trench, the socialite played by actress Eunice Gayson, who appeared in the beginning of Dr. No, who loses at Baccarat to Bond, was going to be a recurring character? She would have appeared in all the Bond movies as his steady girlfriend, who would be constantly frustrated when Bond is called away for action all the time, putting a halt to their dates. She actually does appear with Sean Connery in his first scene in From Russia with Love, but it was soon decided that Bond should not have a main girlfriend, and she never appears again in any of the movies. And here are a couple of bonus facts for you. Did you know that The Avengers, the British TV spy series that was somewhat inspired by the 007 movies, had quite a few cast members appear in several of them? First and foremost, the show's star, Patrick Macnee, who played the debonair John Steed, appeared alongside Roger Moore in A View to a Kill as his associate, Sir Godfrey Tibbett. Second, Diana Rigg, who played Steed's best-known associate, Mrs. Emma Peel, played Countess Tracy DeFicenzo, the ill-fated love interest of George Lazenby's Bond in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. And finally, the late Honor Blackman, who played Kathy Gale on The Avengers, starred as the enigmatically named Pussy Galore in Goldfinger. Bonus fact 2. Did you know that the movie GoldenEye was named after the Jamaican bungalow where author Ian Fleming first conceived of the James Bond character? He wrote each Bond novel at his summer home and would bring the manuscript back with him to England, where it was published. Also, the name GoldenEye was first used as the code name for a contingency plan in case the Nazis invaded Spain during World War II, in which Fleming himself participated. Not as a spy, as some people believe, but as a traveling reporter. Now, I have a Bond-themed question for you. Each James Bond theme song has done a wonderful job at setting the tone for each film. Discounting Dr. No and On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which do not have theme songs other than their respective instrumental pieces, almost all the theme songs have the same names as the movie. Only a select few do not. My question to you is, which Bond theme song was the first to not have the title of the movie that it was written for? And there we go for this week. Special shout out goes to the Poetry Ninja for suggesting this list. To be honest, I was thinking of doing a James Bond themed list for quite a while, and the time was right to do it this week. I hope you like this list and keep an eye out for more themed lists in the future. And also, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and ring the bell for future video notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.